Here's a question I want you to sit on for just a second. You spent 30 plus years building a career most people would envy. You've out earned your peers. You've saved more than the average. And by most measures, you should feel confident about retirement. So, why does it still feel unsettled? Why does retirement still feel like something you'll figure out maybe later? Hey, I'm Tom Meyer. I'm an independent financial advisor, and I have offices in both Nashville, Tennessee, and Metairie, Louisiana. But I'm also helping people in person and very often virtually across the US. I work specifically with executives and business owners and high income professionals who are somewhere in that 3 to 10 year window before retirement. And today I want to talk about the five biggest mistakes I see high income earners make. Not because you're doing something wrong, but because these mistakes are invisible until they're expensive. So let's start with the mistake that underlies almost every other mistake: waiting too long to do real retirement math. Not the back of the envelope version, not the retirement calculator on your 401k website. I mean true comprehensive income projection that looks at taxes, Social Security, healthcare, inflation, and spending in detail. Here's what I find when I sit down with executives for the first time. Most of them have a general sense that they're doing okay. They've got a million or two in the 401k, maybe a brokerage account, maybe a pension, and they think that'll be fine. But when we actually run the numbers, accounting for RMDs, surcharges on Medicare premiums, and the tax hit on Social Security, they're often looking at a very different picture than they expected. Not catastrophic, but materially different. The mistake isn't the gap in the numbers. The mistake is waiting until 63 to find out what a problem that could have been solved at age 58. Every year you wait, you lose planning runway. And with high earner retirement planning, runway is everything. Mistake number two is assuming the portfolio will handle itself. I hear versions of this regularly. My advisor has us in a good allocation. We're in good shape. And that may be true, but allocation is only one dimension of retirement readiness. The tax structure of your assets matters enormously, probably more than the allocation in the pre retirement window. So if you have 2 million sitting in a traditional 401k and a traditional IRA, every dollar you pull out in retirement is ordinary income. That's not a portfolio problem. That's a tax architecture problem. And the time to fix it is when before you retire, when you have some control over your income levels, not after, when every withdrawal has tax consequences that you didn't plan for. Mistake number three is Social Security timing. This one costs couples real money. This could be six figures over a 20 to 25-year retirement when you get it wrong. Claiming too early because you're nervous, or because everyone else is doing it, or because you didn't understand the break even math. It's one of the most permanent financial decisions you'll make. I'll do a full dedication video soon on Social Security. But the headline is this: for most high earners, patience pays. Mistake number four is underestimating healthcare costs in the bridge years and between retirement and Medicare eligibility at 65. If you retire at 62, you've got 3 years to self fund health insurance. For high earner, marketplace premiums can run $1,500 to $2,500 a month per person, depending on coverage level and where you live. That's $36,000 to $60,000 a year, sometimes even more. That's most retirement projections completely ignore. I want you to think about that. That's the equivalent of another full year of living expenses just for health insurance. If you haven't budgeted for that, your retirement math is wrong, period. I'm going to cover Medicare in depth in a future video, but start thinking about it now. And mistake number five. This one surprises most people. It's the failure to plan for what retirement actually looks like psychologically. I've sat across from executives who are financially ready to retire and deeply unprepared for who they are outside of the job title, the structure, the status, the sense of contribution. When that's gone, some people struggle in ways they've never expected. I'm not a therapist, and I don't pretend to be one, but I do think a good retirement plan accounts for purpose and structure, not just money. The clients I see thriving in retirement are the ones who have planned for both. Now, none of these mistakes are fatal. Every one of them is fixable, especially when you catch them early. The challenge is that most people don't catch them early because they don't have a structured process for reviewing their retirement readiness. They have a 401k statement they look at once a quarter and a vague plan to figure it out when the time comes. The time has come, or at least it's coming, And if you're in your 50s or early 60s and you haven't had a serious, comprehensive retirement planning conversation, not just an investment review, but a real income tax, lifestyle planning conversation, then today's the day to change that. These 5 mistakes are just a starting point. Over the series of videos, you're going to go deep into every major retirement planning topic that matters to high earners. Your real retirement number, the tax time bomb on accounts, Social Security, Medicare, Roth conversions, building a guaranteed income floor, estate planning, and what to do for your first 90 days of retirement. So subscribe so you don't miss a single one. If you're watching this and actually thinking I need to actually sit down and look at this, I want to make that easy for you. Visit me at www.schedulewithtom.net and book a no obligation call or video. We'll spend 30 to 45 minutes looking at where you are, where you're headed, and what, if anything, needs to change. No pressure, no sales pitch, just clarity. You've earned that. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care.